So I'm just going to do like a stream of consciousness discussion about my work and see how that goes, and we'll go from there, okay? So, hi, my name's Signe Pierce, and I'm really excited to be here with you. This is, thank you so much. Thank you so much to SMU for inviting me to be a part of this, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to talk to you guys about my work and to get into some ideas that I personally have about the state of the art. So last night we had the State of the Union, right? Which was amazing. Really moving and honest stuff. And I'm going to try and continue the legacy of, moving and honest stuff tonight. But instead of the State of the Union, we're going to talk about the state of the art, right? What is the state of the art? That's like a term that has always been used to essentially describe what is like the most current and contemporary happenings in within modernity. And I've always thought that was kind of a cool term, state of the art. I like that art gets like an invitation to be involved. I think one of the things that frustrates me the most about the state of the art is that art is often an afterthought. Or it's like not really invited to be considered a part of a broader conversation. I was actually speaking to the MFA program of students here at SMU earlier today during lunch, and we were kind of talking about the way that within America, within American society, like art is a foreign concept in a lot of ways, or at least contemporary art is. And part of that is due to a sort of broad division within like the fine art world and the rest of the world, or like the fine art world and then, parts of the country that appreciate art, some types of art, but they have no idea what to do with, contemporary art, or like, they have no idea who like Jeff Koons or Damien Hirst is. And for me, from an artist perspective, I live in New York. I spend a lot of time in LA. I spend a lot of time in Europe doing work and research. And I, as someone who has lived all over America and, experienced, I was born in Arizona, lived in California, lived in Maryland for a while. And I've lived a long time in New York, and I'm frustrated with the way that America does not seem to have too much of a value system in place for art. And I'm also frustrated with the way that the contemporary art world and the fine art world has essentially created a division or almost like a forbiddenness, a really difficult access point for people to get into art. It's intimidating. It's frustrating. It's forbidding, and like that's not necessarily. I mean, to me, that is antithetical to what art and an artist's practice should be about. Art is for the people. It should, it is essentially exists to enlighten, and that's something that I really feel strongly about. I really feel like art should not be confined to the walls of a stoic white gallery, which is only sole intention is to sell or to, make people feel intimidated to come inside because they're not going to buy a painting. It's like when I go to my studio in the morning, I don't go to try and, I don't go to my studio thinking like, oh my God, like I can't wait to make something for this Wall Street banker who's going to buy one of my works and sell it to and ship it to Switzerland and put it in a shipping container and then hopefully flip it for $5 million in a couple years, and I won't get to taste a penny of that. Like, that's not why I make work. And I'm really genuinely, from a philosophical standpoint, believe that it's up to artists to essentially stand up for ourselves and to figure out ways that we can get art and onto the peripheries of more people, make it more accessible, make it more less cold. I think that art does need to be serious, and it needs, take itself seriously. But it doesn't need to be so incredibly forbidding or off-putting or sheltered, honestly. It feels very sheltered right now, and that's fucked up if you ask me. So this talk, this is like my little entry-level idea of the idea that, like, art is for the people, and that's just one of the various theories that I have surrounding ideas of art. But I'd like to just begin with an introductory to my work so that so that we can at least kind of, anyone who maybe isn't familiar with what I do can at least get a little bit of a taste and a feel for how I approach art and how it applies to this idea of, like, transgressing through barriers or boundaries and expectations of what art can be.